What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. Now, I did find a follow-up for the guy that passed out at the White House live earlier. I also skimmed through the live they did because they went live again. They ran for like 40 minutes or so. President Trump was responding to the press and all of that. I watched the whole 40 minutes in double time. He didn't really, there wasn't a whole lot of information that was new. So we're just going to let them talk about the guy being okay and whatever. We're not going to really cover him responding to the press because there's no new information. But either way, when that happened, I wrote everybody on the website. I can't remember if I did on Discord as well, but I was getting my car worked on earlier. I got an oil change. I got the passenger light bulb replaced because it burned out last night. Oh, what else was there? Oh, and I got my tires checked because my tire sensor light keeps coming on. I thought maybe there's a nail in the tire. That was 110 doll hairs for that bullshit. They also figured out and told me that my car is unsafe to drive. Both CV axles, I think it's called, are blown out, and they're saying at any point that shit could just give out. They're saying the boots are completely torn and it's slinging grease everywhere, and that my car is not considered safe to drive, I guess. So they quoted me 1,090 doll hairs to get both CV axles replaced. They're also going to replace both control arms, both ball joints, but that stuff's under warranty. I have to pay labor for that, but otherwise that stuff's covered under warranty. I'm trying to think, there's something else that they're replacing that is also under warranty. But yeah, between now and Wednesday, I have to figure out how to make 1,090 doll hairs so I can have a functioning vehicle, or else I'm facing certain death. Either way, I want to give a huge shout out to Jeffrey. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I really appreciate the support, especially now in the light of car repairs and stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the Cash App and all the support. Thank you. We're going to be starting off, like I said, with this first video here, follow-up for the guy passing out earlier today during the White House Live. Then we got a video titled Nancy Pelosi won't seek re-election. You guys have been talking about how nasty Pelosi isn't going to do that. She's not going to be running for re-election or whatever, so I figured we'd cover it. Then we got a video titled Officials Score Charred Site of Kentucky UPS Plane Crash for Victims and Answers. This is a follow-up on the UPS plane crash that happened. Now, I'm hoping that my stuff wasn't on the damn plane. I was kind of joking about that yesterday, but I actually ordered prints of some images on my phone, and they were supposed to be here today, and they did not show up. And so now I'm inclined to believe that my photos were on that damn plane when it fucking crashed. I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, we've got to follow up on it. Then we got a video titled Former Prince Andrew. This is regular Andrew. He's been summoned by the U.S. Congress over Epstein links. I think that's funny because, you know, it's a hoax and nobody but Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell was ever involved in those crimes. But Congress is summoning regular Andrew just for shits and giggles, I guess. I think that's funny. I'd like to hear President Trump speak about this shit, but, you know, we'll see. Then we got a video titled Jury Deliberates Protest or Assault in Sandwich Guy Trial. Now, we covered a month ago, or maybe it was more than that. All the days bleed together at this point. But we covered a video that was showing this guy who ran up on feds in D.C. and he threw a sandwich at him, right? And they arrested him, saying it was assaulting a federal agent or something like that. Well, he's finally going to court, but of course he's getting sissy treatment just like everybody else. There's no real accountability in this country anymore, but it is what it is. Follow up. Then we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Zero, and it's titled Dang It. Then getting back into the news, we got a video titled Jury Awards 10 million doll hairs to the teacher who was shot by a 6-year-old student. We just covered that video a week ago or so, and, well, they're wrapping things up in court. It's looking good for the teacher, but it's not as much as she was asking for. Then we got a video titled Judge Cuts Bond for Former North Carolina Lawmaker Accused of Child Sex Crimes. This person's a Democrat. I know that's not shocking in any kind of way, but he was representative of North Carolina there, and he just got busted doing nasty things. Then we got a video titled Hospital Hit. These next 3 videos, we'll see about the second video, but I got 3 videos logged. I told you guys that I would try and find follow-ups for the secret gender-affirming care for minors in Texas because it's illegal, but supposedly they're still doing it because there's whistleblowers and stuff for it. Yesterday we covered a video about Michigan doing the same exact thing. They were committing insurance fraud to fund gender-affirming care for minors in secrecy and all of this. I actually found the entire hearing for that, but there's not really any great information on it. We played a clip, a minute-long clip yesterday, kind of exposing all of that. I watched the 1.5-hour hearing earlier today, and it doesn't sound like there's consequences. These are people just giving testimony about how they went to the doctor, they had gender dysphoria, the doctor convinced them to get procedures done. The doctors would write random shit on their file in order to get insurance companies to provide cash for these conditions that the patients did not actually have in order to fund their gender affirming care. We already know that there's no consequences to it as far as I can tell, so I don't really have a follow-up on that, just kind of a confirmation. But then, like I'm saying, the second video is a second whistleblower for Texas, this secret gender affirming care that's happening. We'll decide if you guys want to watch that or not, because there's quite a bit of video here to cover just with the first one. And then the third video is something new happening in Texas. These people are putting together a gender affirming hospital wing in Texas. Somebody by the name of Dr. Danny Hanna. This video just came out 2 days ago. So I don't know what's going on with the transing kids and shit in Texas. There's like a secret war going on, but either way, these people are building brand new facilities and announcing it just 2 days ago. Then getting into the last little bit of the news is Lefties losing it. And today it's titled Jennifer Welch's Claims Americans Have No Culture, which is nice and funny. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff, of course. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Preparing Your Kids for the World. And then I provided the official funny video of the day, and it's titled Me When I've Had Enough of the Day. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Zero? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Tom Tom? What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Russell? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. Is that true? Breaking news. I knew it. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Beck Frank, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing to the chat back, Frank. What's up, Slide Dog? What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, Colty? What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you guys. Let me see, scrolling through here. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Too Old to Care? What's up, MU? What's up, Cheeky Jobs? Happy freedom to you guys. Scrolling. What's up, Major? Happy freedom. What's up, Shroomish? Major, do it yourself what? Let me see. I think we got everybody. What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy freedom to you. Scrolling. I think we got everybody. Make sure you guys hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page of Rumble. Is this working? What are we doing here? Oh, there we go. Things are working again, I guess. Either way, what is up, everyone over on Kig? What's up, Xterra? Happy freedom. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. What are these emojis, Lisa? Let me see this one. We're going to be stealing all these emojis. Oh, yes, the hooligans will enjoy that. We will be adding that later. Thank you for your contributions, Lisa. I like the side duck. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? We are live on Twitch today. I don't know what Rumble did different because I didn't do anything different, but it's working, so, we'll be grateful. What's up, Nucking Futz? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. And what's up, Guess Who? Happy freedom, you hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on the Goof Tube? Anna Kims, you were first today. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tube Steak? What's up, DP? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Master Dork? Happy freedom. Xterra, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom. Cheeky Chops, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Scrolling. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom. I think we got everybody. You guys are welcome to hit that like button as well. Let's make sure this is playing right. It is. It's playing wrong. And what is up, everyone on X is what I would say if I had X pulled up. Come on, do the thing. Those aren't even spirit fingers. Those are just lazy fingers. And when you've been married for 10 years, you just give her the lazy finger. Either way, happy freedom to all of you hooligans. Let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, This first video is a follow-up from earlier today. We were covering the White House. They were making an announcement about making meds cheap or something along those lines. And then this guy just passed out right in front of us, and they just cut the live feed. So we got to follow up on that. But we're going to play the first two videos back to back. Second one's Nancy Pelosi won't seek re-election. We're going to, like I said, play both of those back to back. Also, I did get shirts together, but what I did not do is get screenshots to show you guys. So I'm just going to drop the link, and you guys can go take a gander for yourself. We got this brand new merch store and all kinds of things inside for you guys to go and take a gander at. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat while we are watching these first videos. So let's get this pulled up. Like I said, starting off with President Trump making an announcement. This is a follow-up to that. We're not going to play much of the video because we already know that they're talking about meds. And then, like I said, he does respond to questions from the press, but it's the same old, same old. They're asking about government shutdown. They're asking about tariffs. We already know that there's no answers for any of that shit because it's all up in the air right now. So we're just going to cover the first 26 seconds of this, and we'll get in the second video. Make sure you hit that like button, and let's get into this.
Well, thank you very much. One of the representatives of the companies, and one of the companies got a little bit lightheaded. You saw he went down, and he's fine. They just sent him out. He's got doctor's care, but he's fine. So we had a little bit of an interruption. Sorry for that. And I think we can just begin again with Eli Lilly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And again, I was saying it's an honor to be here.
Okay, so President Trump just letting us know that everything is A-okay, even though it looked like that guy kicked the bucket right in front of us. He'll be fine. Just dealing with old people problems, and it happens. Either way, like I said, speaking of old people, we're going to get into this next video. This is about Nasty Pelosi here. She's supposedly not seeking re-election. I don't know. We'll see. Could you imagine if AOC ran for president and stuck Pelosi as VP or something? That'd be crazy. Either way, let's go ahead and get into this.
Former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is calling it a career. The powerful Democrat announced today that she will not seek re-election. It brings to a close her storied career as not only the first woman in the Speaker's office, but arguably the most powerful in American politics. Pelosi is 85 years old. She represented San Francisco for nearly 40 years. She had already relinquished her leadership position 3 years ago.
Okay, Nasty Pelosi. I doubt we've seen the last of her, but, you know, they're trying to keep hope alive, I guess. Next up, officials score charred site of Kentucky UPS plane crash for victims and answers. Now, I don't think this will be the last follow-up because they don't really talk a lot about the victims and stuff. But it is a follow-up to the UPS plane crash, giving us some more information about everything not related to victims. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about these first two videos. First one, follow up from the White House about the guy that passed out. He's okay. He's just dealing with old people problems. He was standing too long. He'll be okay. Second video, Nasty Pelosi was the first woman in the Speaker's office. She represented San Francisco for almost 40 years, and she looks less human the older she gets. Like I said, next up, we got to follow up on the UPS plane that crashed. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about those first two videos. Let's see. What's up, Tom Tom? Happy Freedom. 460 trash cans dumped. What's the high score, Tom Tom? Russell, my gender was affirmed at birth. It's on my birth certificate. That's racist, Russell. Metal Mild Nasty Pelosi can't retire fast enough. I know. I don't think it's the last of her, though. I think she'll still hang out on Capitol Hill. Tool to carry, sweep that dirt bag out the door. I know. They can't do it fast enough. What's up, Cass? Happy Freedom. Slide Dog. Gender affirming, I could do that for free. You have a wiener? You're a boy. Just show them a kindergarten cop. Yep. I don't know. People are so messed up. Major, need to move to Florida now? I saw a video the Snook sent me saying that 50% of Floridians are considering leaving Florida because of the cost of living. Is Butterfly's birthday? Is Butterfly here today? How do you guys know this? Are they here today? I don't know their first name. I just know them as Butterfly. Well, you guys will have to remind me if they show up. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. What's up, Matt Rogers? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Double D? Happy freedom to you. Cheeky Jobs, Jeff Mack, you're a winner. I don't care what Pelosi said about you. I'm sure she was speaking very nicely about me. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom. Larry, I wrote you on the website. I don't know if you still got access to the website, but because I went to see the mechanic today, I asked him about the transmission. So I sent you all the information I know on the website. Let me see. What's up, Nephilah? Happy freedom to you. Oh, you're not that late. We're just getting started. What's up, Ryan? Happy freedom. Also, I was talking yesterday with somebody about getting a Corvette bumper or something, and I can't remember who that was or what year the car was. So they need to send me an email. Yeah, Snook, I saw that. I would like more confirmation than that, though. What's up, None Report? Happy freedom to you, and thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid, None Report. You're badass. Welcome, Raiders. Go ahead and hit that like button on your way in. We're just getting started into things. What's up, TV Green? What's up, Abby Girl? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Night Wolf? Happy freedom to you. What's up, 60? Happy freedom. What's up, Sherry? Happy freedom to you. Try and get as many as I can. So we're reading through here. We are just in between videos. Next up, officials are checking out this UPS plane crash here, trying to give us some more details. Let me see. 0 and 06. I thought they said it was a 2016. That's why I got figured out. What's up, Peg? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Snarl? Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you guys sliding through here. Dudden. I actually have terrible anxiety the entire time I'm live. I'm on the brink of throwing up the whole time we're live. I don't know how I got this job. What's up, God Sign? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Roger? Happy freedom. Thank you for joining us. All right, hooligans, we're going to go ahead and move forward here, get into this next video. Like I said, officials scour charred site of Kentucky UPS plane crash for victims and answers. Now, like I said, I don't think they really give us a whole lot of information about the victims. And I don't know if I got yesterday's notes here. Let me see. They were saying yesterday that there was 9 killed, 11 injured, and 16 missing. Now, I don't think they talk about any more answers with the missing people in this video, but I'm hoping by tomorrow they'll know more about it. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
We have identified the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. This is what is commonly referred to as a black box.
The NTSB says the black boxes are built to withstand extreme heat and expressed confidence they'll be able to extract the relevant data stored inside. According to preliminary information released by the NTSB, the area around the left wing of the 34-year-old aircraft was enveloped by fire during its takeoff roll Tuesday. The agency says CCTV footage from the airport then shows the left engine detaching from the wing.
The engine that's been seen in some photographs. We do believe that that is the engine from the left side of the plane. It is actually on the airfield.
Grade A Recycling was one of several local businesses in the aircraft's impact zone. Owner Sean Garber was away on business when he got a FaceTime from employee Georgie Dow, who was distraught.
She said, oh, a plane crashed. And I said, you mean a plane crashed away from us? And then she said, no, the plane crashed on us.
It wasn't just a couple minutes. It wasn't just the plane crashed and that was it. It was an explosion after explosion after explosion. I heard, people yelling, "Where are these people?" One of our truck drivers our vendors, his jacket was melted. He said he thought he broke his leg.
So it was so hot that people's clothing was
melted.
And that engine that fell off the plane during takeoff was manufactured by General Electric. I want to read you a couple of statements. Let's start with GE's. They say they are deeply saddened by the accident and supporting the NTSB's investigation. Meantime, the CEO of UPS also sending a message to employees there, reading in part, "Our hearts continue to be with all who have been impacted." Tom Hanson, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, follow up there on the plane crash. Like I said, I hope my pictures weren't on that plane. I assume we'll have another follow up if they can figure out what happened to the 16 missing people. We'll see. Next up, we got former Prince Andrew. This is regular Andrew. He's been summoned by the U.S. Congress over Epstein links, even though the Epstein stuff is a hoax and nobody else was involved other than Epstein and Maxwell. So they're just going to call regular Andrew in for no reason, I guess. Either way. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this UPS plane crash follow-up video. Once again, they're saying that they've retrieved the black box from the plane. They believe the engine fell off the plane before it took off because of video and where the engine is laying on the ground. They're saying that the fire was so hot that it was melting people's clothes at the crash site. Crazy stuff. I wonder how long it'll take them to get that cleaned up. It's a huge area that the plane crashed. Either way, like I said, we got regular Andrew coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this plane crash. Snooks, no, it wasn't nudes that went down in the plane crash. I print those myself. No. What's up, guess happy freedom. Are there still people missing? Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. For some reason, they're not talking about it. Snarl. I think fentanyl was on the plane and Trump shot it down. I mean, maybe. Maybe that's what happened. I'm not sure. What's up, Texas Outlaw? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Magic Moon? Happy freedom to you. How does the engine fall off? I don't know. I don't know how that happens. They were saying that the plane was down for maintenance for a while, and then it got beyond that period, and then the day before the accident happened, it was under maintenance again. And so it seems like the plane was already having problems, and they put a little bit too much trust in it. What's up, Patriot Dad? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Butterfly? Happy birthday to you. Hope today kicks ass for you. Thank you for sharing some of your birthday with us. Butterfly, sounds like the plane was not properly maintained by avionics techs. Yeah, that is what it seems like. What's up, Wendy Wild? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Coco? Happy freedom to you. Guess engine fire caused by global warming. Greta's gonna be pissed. Oh man, I hate covering her and her little troll face. Knucking Futz. Extensive fire during takeoff. Heat weakened steel aluminum bolts. Yeah. Well, I also don't understand like how they didn't notice that. Like they weren't even off the runway and the engine was on fire. They need to put rear view mirrors on planes. You know, that's what it is. It needs to be like a giant Cadillac that flies. What's up, Christine? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Louise? Happy freedom to you. Or is it Lewis? I never know. But either way, I appreciate you being here. What's up, Grateful? Happy freedom. Mike Ingalls, when your time is up, your time is up. But it sucks to be standing next to someone whose time was up. Yeah, that's true. That is true. My grandpa used to say all the time, when God calls your number, you gotta go. There's nothing you can do about it. What's up? No. Happy freedom to you. My guess is that the fire was so hot that it melted the aluminum and the engine fell off. Could be. the more we talk about fire and like metal getting weak, the more it feels like we're talking about the 911 day. Anyways, moving forward here before I get a strike over on YouTube. This next one, like I said, former Prince Andrew, again, regular Andrew, he's been summoned by the U.S. Congress over Epstein links. I mean, it's a hoax, but that's okay. Either way, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. Old regular Andrew here. I thought we would have heard President Trump talk about this by now, but I guess not. I don't know why. The press didn't have any good questions today. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Well, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been summoned to appear before US Congress over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. The Democrat members of the House Committee on Oversight say they believe the former prince could have insight into Epstein's crimes due to their long-standing friendship. David Blevins has more from Washington.
There are 47 members of this congressional committee investigating the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. 16 of them, all Democrats, have written to Andrew, summoning him to appear before them. They say they believe he may have crucial information about co-conspirators and enablers of those crimes. If I read just some of their letter, they point out that the former Duke.
So I just want to say really quick, out of all the images of Jeffrey Epstein, this is my favorite one by far. I have not seen this until today. This is my favorite one. Anyway.
Friendship with Epstein reportedly began in 1999 and that they remained close even after the financier's 2008 conviction for procuring minors for prostitution. It has also been reported, they add, that you travelled with Epstein to his New York residence, the Queen's residence at Balmoral, and to Epstein's private island in the US Virgin Islands, where you have been accused of abusing minors. This close relationship with Epstein, they continue, coupled with the recently revealed 2011 email exchange in which you wrote to him, "We are in this together," further confirms our suspicion that you may have valuable information about the crimes committed by Epstein and his co-conspirators. So the committee is not mincing its words. They're adamant that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor should now appear before them and provide answers to their questions about the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. Always important to stress, of course, that the former Duke of York has not been charged with any crime and has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing.
Yes, regular Andrew, he did nothing wrong. He was stripped of his royal titles, and now he's being summoned by Congress. But yeah, regular Andrew didn't do a thing wrong. I really want to hear President Trump talk about this, because the last time we heard President Trump talk about this is when the victims of Epstein, or the supposed victims, were doing that presser on the steps there, and that's when Marjorie Taylor Greene and whoever the other person was, I don't remember if it was Rand Paul or who it was, but they were saying that they were going to have the victims were saying that they were going to create their own list of gross pedos that were hanging out on Epstein Island, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene and somebody, and I think it was Rand Paul, they were both going to go read the list of names, their client list, on the House floor, where they would be immune from charges like defamation of character or whatever. They have immunity while they're on the House floor. So they're supposedly at some point going to be reading their homemade Epstein list on the House floor. And that was the last time we heard President Trump talk about it. Now President Trump is saying it's all a hoax, that it was just Epstein and Maxwell, that there was no other perpetrators. They've also, President Trump and Pam Bondi have both said they do not have evidence that incriminates any other third party. So regular Andrew or Bill Clinton or whoever else, they do not have evidence that's going to lead to an arrest. They've already said that. And it's months now. And so now whenever you hear about it, you just hear it's a hoax. Now, I think when President Trump says that, I don't think he's saying that the victims are not victims. I think he's saying that the insinuation that others were involved in Epstein's crimes, that notion is a hoax by the Democrats to make him look bad. Now, That's just what I believe. He's never come out and really explained that stuff. And it all started when they were trying to say that Trump was a part of the Epstein stuff. Now, Maxwell, during her testimony and her interview that just happened a couple months ago, she cleared President Trump, saying he never did anything nefarious or anything like that. And with that being said, they are still saying they have no evidence of third-party wrongdoing, including regular Andrew. So if that's the case, why is regular Andrew being brought to Congress? Right? So hopefully we'll get some information on that. Also, they just say that he's being summoned. It doesn't say he's being indicted or anything like that. You can deny that. Now, I don't know how it works with Congress and shit, but if you're being summoned to court, you can deny it. All you do is you just go there and tell them, or probably through a phone call, tell them that you plead the fifth, that you're not willing to testify. Nobody can force you to testify. It's part of your rights. And so you can say, no, I refuse to testify. And most likely they won't have you come in, because what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there and say nothing? Let's, save everybody time and money. Now with Congress, it might be different. I don't know. But it will be interesting to see what happens next. Either way, next up we got jury deliberates protest or assault in sandwich guy trial. Now, we covered a couple months ago that this idiot in D.C. ran up on Fed boys and threw a Subway sandwich at him, or some, I don't know if it was Subway, but it threw a sandwich at him, ran away, got fucked up, put on his head, and arrested. At the time, they were saying it was assault against a federal agent, which makes sense. Now they're saying that it was just a gesture that has been blown out of proportion. It's coming up next, but first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about regular Andrew being summoned by Congress to talk about Epstein stuff. Yes, so anyways, hopping in the chat, and like I said, we got Sandwich Man coming up next. Zero, they can only ask him to. He's not subject to our Constitution. So, well, that actually makes me wonder if he can even deny it, because then it means he does not have a right to remain silent. Only Americans have that right. So maybe he has to show up. I don't know, because it's also international. Does he have dual citizenship? Russell, Congress can't force Andrew to appear in front of them. He's not a U.S. citizen. So he doesn't have dual citizenship, because if he does, then I think they can. I mean, it doesn't mean he will. He could just become a fugitive or whatever. When you got enough money, that shit don't matter. Guess how my grandpa used to say, don't tell your mom. That sounds like a pretty fun grandpa. What's up, Craig? Happy freedom to you. Craig, Andrew didn't do nothing. Nothing to see here. Move along now. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting if he actually shows up to Congress, but I don't know that he will. That's kind of like Maxwell. You know, we were all getting ready for her to testify before Congress or whatever, give statements or whatever. And then she turned it down because the way her appeal went. What's up, T1? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tori Wayne? Happy freedom to you. We'll see, Cass. We'll see who's live by the time we get to the end of this. Nightwolf, I still remember the last words my dear old granddad said to me. He said, "Quit shaking the ladder, you little bast." Dang, wise words. Those are wise words. Patriot Dad, how's your leg doing? I can't remember if it's week 15 or week 16 of still having the spider bite. It's only this big now. It's small, but it's just this red, like, welt that's just there. And so I don't know, hopefully I can finally get to the end of this. But yeah, we're getting to week 15 or week 16 of this. Thanks for asking though. Cass, is week 16? Yeah, I was afraid of that. What's up, Bright Gaming? Happy freedom to you. Lisa, what are you doing in the chat? What's up, Murdercom? Happy freedom to you. Damn, nearly died to a spider. I know, I'm walking around with cracked armor. If a mosquito bit me right now, it'd probably put me in the grave. What's up, Master Meatball? Happy freedom. So whatever happened to the list? President Trump said that there is no list and that it's all a hoax. Guess who? Jeff's like, comics lied to me. I didn't get superpowers. There's still hope. I still have the bug bite, so there's still a chance that I could develop superpowers. That's probably what's taken so long. Master Meatball, try aloe vera. Tends to pull stuff from the skin. Check on it. I've been putting all kinds of stuff on it. I also sit with my leg on a heating pad because the doctor said if it's not a spider bite and it's blood clots, that the only thing we could do is a hot compress, that nothing else would fix it. And so nobody actually knows what's wrong with me, but I appreciate everybody's concern. What's up, Tim Mack? Happy freedom to you. All the proof and evidence is gone. Yeah, Tim Mack. Seems that way. I mean, half of Congress is probably on the list. So, I mean, the proof is sitting there getting paid during the government shutdown. It's only speculation, though. Christine, there had to be others to partake because why else did they do it? Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel, too, but they're sweeping it under the rug for one reason or another. Thank you so much, Get Some, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. You're badass, Get Some. Thank you so much for the support. Finally got my hooligan condoms. They fell off. Thanks, Jeff. Goodness. Thank you, Get Some. Really appreciate it. I cannot believe that I got this $1,000 bill next week. It's not good. I'm going to have to sell the Klaus or some shit. Nephilah, what would your superpowers be? It's not going to be a bigger wiener because I already got that. I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully it's something that makes money, though. Just shit out new Subarus. I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the superpower is going to be. Either way, moving forward here, like I said, jury deliberates protest or assault in sandwich guy trial. Now, this is super liberal. This whole, the defense's statements in general is nasty. Nasty liberal gaslighting. It's going to be so much gaslighting, it's going to make your head hurt. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
The jury in the assault case against Sean Dunn, otherwise known as the sandwich guy, has gone home for the day without reaching a verdict.
Now, those deliberations began today after both sides presented their closing arguments.
Prosecutors telling the jury that Dunn crossed the line that night and should be found guilty, while the defense says that there was no harm done and said expressing opposition to the federal surge is not a crime.
News 4's Paul Wagner has been covering the trial all week for us and joins us now with the very latest. Hi, Paul.
Hi there. Well, the jury just left this federal courthouse not too long ago, and so did Sean Dunn, the defendant. We want to show you some video of him as he walked up 3rd Street here. The prosecution and the defense put on their closing arguments today, and it lasted most of the afternoon. The jury getting the case just before 3 o'clock this afternoon, and they deliberated for about 2 hours today before going home. Now, we want to show you a little bit about what the prosecution had to say and tell the jury today. Take a look. The prosecutor told the jury, this case is not about the First Amendment or immigration. It is about an individual who crossed the line. You do not have the right to strike another person, not even with a sandwich. He did it to draw the officers away from their mission. He even admitted it, telling an officer after his arrest he succeeded. Now, the defense got their chance and told the jury today the government is sorely and completely wrong in that acts of impoliteness, rudeness, and incivility are punishable as federal offenses. What Sean Dunn did was not forcible assault, and it certainly was not forcibly impeding or interfering with the agent's duties. In this country, opposition is not a crime. The government's assault case is nowhere near beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, on the night of August 10th, as the federal surge was beginning, Sean Dunn was captured on video berating a group of federal agents and officers. He screamed shame and got inches from their faces, screaming profanities at 14th and U. He then, according to prosecutors, assaulted an agent with Customs and Border Protection by slinging a salami sub into the chest of one of the agents. He then ran more than a block away, where he was arrested at 16th and U. Dunn's defiance was described in court by his attorneys as a harmless gesture with an exclamation point. And since the night of the incident, he's become somewhat of a cult hero and face of the resistance. A caricature of a man throwing a sub has been painted on walls around the city and projected on the sides of buildings. Prosecutors initially asked a grand jury to indict Dunn on a felony charge, but that grand jury declined. Instead, he's been charged with a misdemeanor here in federal court. So again, he will be back here, as will the jury, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And they will then begin their deliberations, and we will see what happens. That's the latest here from the federal courthouse. Now back to you.
We know you will be there covering it all for us. Paul Wagner. Thank you, Paul.
Okay. Like I said, a lot of gaslighting in that video. Must be nice to be in DC where you can just openly be a criminal on camera and then they just say that you're the good guy in the situation. Must be nice. So the court hearing is for the sandwich guy, the man that threw sandwiches at the Fed boys. Both sides provided closing arguments today. Prosecutors saying that he assaulted the feds and admitted to distracting them from doing their duties. Defense is saying that it was an act of opposition and that it was not an assault and it was not distracting to the Fed boys. Could you imagine trying to work while someone is screaming in your face and throwing a sandwich and hitting you with it? I mean, that seems distracting and like assault. The defense claims that this is just harmless gesture. There's so much gaslighting in this video. He is being charged with a misdemeanor. He's being charged with misdemeanor assault. He was originally charged with felony assault to a federal officer, but a grand jury denied that. So it went back to misdemeanor assault. I went and found that information on my own because they didn't talk about it in the video. But court will resume tomorrow, so we'll see how sentencing goes. Hopefully we'll have a follow-up by the time we do Coffee with Hooligans tomorrow. Next up, we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Zero, and it's titled Dang It. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the sandwich guy. Guess I'm doing duties. He was distracting their duty there. Zero, just because it was soft and meaty doesn't make it less of an assault. I guess. I guess. There's a little double entendre going on there. Klaus Daniels. Yes, wake up. He's having nightmares. I don't know if y'all seen that. Russell, he was just trying to feed the guy. That's right. The Fed boy was sitting there looking hungry. He was starving to death, you know. These guys are living paycheck to paycheck. That's what they keep saying on these government shutdown videos. They're like, most of the military is living paycheck to paycheck. That shouldn't be fucking happening in the first place. We shouldn't have military on SNAP benefits, but regardless of that, yeah. This guy, he was just a good Samaritan. He was trying to feed the feds. They took offense because they're soft, and then they assaulted him for it. That's what happened. Like, fucking, I don't know. It's funny in DC. Funny stuff. Ghostly, if they say it's not a crime, I'm going to start throwing meatball subs at Dems. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was just a gesture of opposition. That's all it is, Ghostly. Break out these salt sandwiches. Guess if a woman gives you a BJ but dies because she had nut allergies, is that manslaughter? Only if they find the body, guess What is that, Snooks? Jesus loves us. Craig, if there was bacon on the sandwich, there has to be a second charge, misappropriated use of bacon products. And that's right. That's right. I don't know, seeing how soft the guy with the sandwich was, it was probably a vegan sandwich. There probably was no meat on it. Plenty of meat in him, though. You see him wearing his mask walking down the street. Shroomish, Trump needs to go harder. If that's the standard, you can assault his workers. Yeah, I don't know how they're trying to argue that this is not assault. It's assault. Like, I don't get that at all. Told to care, was there mayo on his salami? I mean, I didn't check. Gotta ask his boyfriend. Snarl, he needs to be arrested. He knew what he did was wrong. That's why he ran. Yeah, absolutely. Guess based on his looks, he's going to be a sandwich in jail. Yeah, he's going to be a party favor. Texas outlaw, yeah, he found out all right. Told to carry assault with his salami. Yep, he's a sex offender. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Ban those assault sandwiches. That's what they're gonna say next. Roy, if it was any of us, we'd be in jail. Oh yeah, it'd absolutely be assault on a federal agent. They'd never hear from us again. They'd bury us under the jail. But this guy, he's got a purty mouth. He's willing. Knucking Futz, today it was just a sub. Next time it could be the whole salami. It's a slippery slope. Can't let it slide. Christine, what a waste of a sandwich. I know. I'm sitting here starving now. Christine ran like a soy boy. He did. He ran like he's never ran before in his life. Christine, the left's actions are never wrong or a crime. It's funny how that works. Matt Rogers, in the military, single living in the barracks, you eat for free in the chow hall. If married, you get extra dependent pay for food and you shop on base. Interesting. I'm still kind of surprised that they talk about the military being on SNAP benefits. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. You're signing your life away to the military. They got to take care of you to keep you functioning as a soldier. How is you needing to be on government assistance, you being taken care of? How are you fit to fight if you need government assistance to live? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I knew these people weren't becoming millionaires being soldiers and shit, but like, you shouldn't need welfare if you're already working for the government. Like, that's messed up. Somebody needs to do something about that. Either way, like I said, we got our midlife break coming up, our funny video. But first, I want to remind you, hooligans, that if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live. Well, first you got to log in, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. We give a huge shout out to Patriot Dad. Thank you so much for that $20 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much. Toys for Klaus the Kang. Well, thank you, Patriot Dad. You're awesome. All right, hooligans, let's get into this midlife break here. Getting this pulled up. The screen must be full. All right. Like I said, this is our midlife break. Today it was provided by Zero, and it's titled, Dang It. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it!
You know what I'm gonna do? Stop giving you people free money.
Whoa! When did politics get so extreme? Yes. Silly lefties. Either way, getting back into the news here, jury awards $10 million to teacher who was shot by a 6-year-old. Now, I think it was last week that we had covered this story, that they were going to be going to court and all of that, and how this woman was shot by a 6-year-old. And at the school she was working at, there had been multiple warnings to the assistant principal about this child and things that were going on. Now, the assistant principal didn't do anything about it. And then eventually this teacher was shot by that child. So they're all in court. Court's wrapping up. She might have just got herself $10 million. Go ahead and hit that like button and let's get into this.
Breaking news, a jury in Virginia rules in favor of Abigail Zwerner, that former Virginia teacher shot by a 6-year-old student in school. Zwerner is now awarded $10 million in damages after she sued her former school administrator, alleging she ignored repeated warnings about that student and failed to act after several staff members even told her that student had a gun in his backpack. Justice Department reporter Jack Dade, also our legal contributor, Bernardo Villalona, join me now for more. So, Jack, let's just start by how we got here.
Well, we have to go back to January 2023 when this incident occurred. The people at the school, students, had related, and eventually to Ebony Parker, who's the assistant principal at the school, that this student was believed to have had a gun. Ebony Parker, the assistant principal, the jury found, failed to act in a manner that possibly could have prevented this shooting from occurring. This 6-year-old drew a gun and shot Abigail Zwerner, the teacher, in the wrist, in the stomach, and in the abdomen. And now the jury has rendered its verdict. She'll be awarded $10 million for that incident for the assistant principal failure to act in this matter.
So, Bernardo, the plaintiff initially asked for $40 million. She was awarded $10 million. Why do you think it turned out this way?
Well, I think it turned out this way because the jury also saw that she actually is not the person that pulled the trigger, but that a student actually pulled the trigger. I think she would have been awarded a lot more money if that was the case, that she actually pulled the trigger. But the reality is that she enabled this to actually happen because the buck stopped with her and she failed to investigate. So that's why this jury was able to come back so quickly and finding against the supervisor and for the victim in this case, because her negligence led to this disaster. And thankfully, she did not die.
Sure. All right, Jack, Bernardo, thank you so much for connecting with us at the last minute there as we just received that verdict. We'll continue to talk about the story throughout the afternoon.
Okay. Got those doll hairs there. Now, like I said, this is a follow-up. This teacher was awarded 10 million doll hairs by the court in her lawsuit against the assistant principal that did not take those warnings seriously, resulting in the teacher being shot by a 6-year-old. She had originally asked for 40 million doll hairs, but she was only awarded 10 because that's what they felt like she deserved. I don't know, 10 million doll hairs is still 10 million doll hairs. Next up, judge cuts bond for former North Carolina lawmaker accused of child sex crimes. This is a pretty crazy story. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this teacher that just won this lawsuit after being shot by a 6-year-old. Zero, she needs to go after them civilly and personally and bankrupt them. Well, it's probably double jeopardy laws. They probably won't let you do that. You can't just keep going after somebody, especially after you win the lawsuit, but it just depends. Depends on the court system there, where they're at, how badass of an attorney they have. There's a lot of varying factors, but she just got 10 million doll hairs. Also, well, if she had been carrying, it may have been different. Pulls a gun on a 6-year-old. Now what? It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. Mm-hmm. Major shit. Shoot me for 10 million. Just get me in the leg real quick. I need 10 million doll hairs. What's up, Ryder? Happy freedom to you. Patriot Dad, I see so much government waste every day. Yeah, I believe it. Roy, who pays the 10 million? Taxpayers? Probably. Because it's public school. Yeah, because she's being sued professionally. She's not being sued personally, like as, you know, otherwise it'd be up to her. But because the assistant principal is being sued, I assume it's a school, public doll hairs. Snarl, she handed the child the gun? No, I don't know how the child got the gun. They did not really talk about that when we had originally covered it. They just said that the child had a gun, and I think there was even reports that someone thought they saw the child with a gun, and the assistant principal still didn't do anything, and then the teacher got shot. And I think that was part of the damning evidence there. Beck Frank, dude, get speech lessons. Yeah, I don't know what he's Porky Pigging it up. Shroomish, doesn't surprise me. Disposable heroes, government doesn't care about them. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It should not be that way. T1, yep, it's all on the taxpayers. Yeah, so it's not exactly a win. Guess obviously they didn't do a background check on the kid. Yeah, see? That's what they're going to say. They're going to say we need stronger gun laws. Russell, I got a story for voice chat. Remind me. What? I need more context than that. I mean, I'll try. But Friday's going to come around and I'm going to say, hey, you wanted me to remind you of a story that you wanted to be reminded about. Zero, the child had a gun in his backpack. Yeah, I just wonder, where did the gun come from? Is the firearm illegal? Did they take it from a buddy's house? You know, was it mom and dad's? I just wonder. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom. Took the gun from home. Belongs to mom. Yeah, see, mom should be charged. Christine, I would sue more like maybe the parents of the child. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a case there. What's up, Tar Kitty? Happy freedom. Tar Kitty, I'll check it out. Come on, YouTube, stop fighting me. Fucking bullshit. Just trying to copy something here. I don't know how YouTube could just become more unlikable every day, but man, they're good at it. I'll check it out, Tar Kitty. Thank you. I just wrote a reminder. What's up, Techno? Happy freedom to you. Mike Ingalls. If she was a liberal, she would have got more. Yep, she probably owned the school. They'd named the school after her. She can't read, but you know. What's up, Mana? Happy freedom to you. Mana, my brother said that he's gluten-free. Wait a minute. He has a gluten-free allergy. Been putting taco powder on my food that's 100% wheat. He's been eating wheat and lying for 6 months. Don't eat my food. I hate fake people. Yeah, Mana. Well, maybe it's bothering me. He doesn't realize it. I don't know. I've been trying to stay away from gluten because I feel like it doesn't make me feel very good. But at the same time, if I eat gluten, as long as I don't eat a lot of it, I seem to be okay. I don't know, but I hear you. I can't stand fake people either. All right, Russell. I'll write the reminder. There we go. I will remind you tomorrow, Russell. Guess I better not be a gay story. Oh, for Russell? Well, you never know. You never know. Ghostly, it's not like they spend our taxes on good things anyways. Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, judge cuts bond for former North Carolina lawmaker accused of child sex crimes. And it's not just accusations. He was aggressively trying to get at the minor to delete the incriminating evidence that they had. It's just this guy, he needs all the treatment he deserves. That's what I can legally say. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
It feels like every week we're reporting on judges going soft on someone charged with serious offenses.
Yeah, so this week in North Carolina, a former Democrat state representative accused of child sex crimes was granted a low bond, even after prosecutors said he tried to obstruct the investigation and even presented evidence he was preparing to leave town.
Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has this disturbing story. Jason, what's going on here?
Hey, Mark, Charlotte. So Cecil Brockman, he's a Democrat lawmaker, was a Democrat lawmaker in Guilford County, North Carolina, until last Friday when he resigned following his recent arrest on felony sex charges involving a minor. In this case, it was a 15-year-old boy he allegedly met on a dating app. And here's where the familiar story kicks in. Brockman's bond amount was initially set at just over $1 million, considering the severity of the accusation, but that amount didn't last. Brockman's lawyers asked a judge at a hearing on Monday to have that bond reduced. Their argument was that Brockman didn't know the boy was underage. Prosecutors were told pushed back, saying it was obvious the victim was a minor just by looking at him, and they laid out even more disturbing details. They say Brockman tried to become a hospital patient and was even caught trying to bust through a locked door to reach the victim in an attempt, prosecutors believe, to delete incriminating evidence off the boy's phone. Now, when that didn't work, prosecutors say the former Democrat state rep roped in his mother in another failed attempt to approach the victim at the hospital. Now, right before his arrest, police say Brockman was spotted leaving home with a loaded suitcase, which investigators took as a possible sign he was planning to skip town. Oh, and that phone authorities recovered, the one Brockman reportedly was so desperate to get his hands on, they say it contained 14 explicit videos, and Brockman's face can allegedly be seen on some of them. So, Mark Charlotte, what does the Guilford District Judge do with all that evidence? Naturally, he slashes Cecil Brockman's bond from just over $1 million down to $250,000, letting him walk free after likely paying only a fraction of that amount, with a bail company guaranteeing the rest to the court. The judge did put him on house arrest and banned him from using social media. So there's that.
And this is a guy who was known to have a suitcase and looked like he was going to pack up and flee, which now he could still do. All right, makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think parents are going to react very well to that. All right, thanks, Jason.
It's not good. Now, it is interesting the way that they talk about it. They're like, well, they give him a low bond. Well, $250,000 is not a low bond. Like, that's not a low bond. But it is a lot lower than $1 million, which it shouldn't have been lowered in the first place. They're saying that former North Carolina State Representative Cecil Broxman, I guess, they resigned. They are a Democrat, by the way. They resigned after being arrested for felony sex charges involving a minor. He supposedly met the 15-year-old on a dating app, which sounds untrue because why would a 15-year-old be on a dating app? He was aggressively trying to get at the victim to delete incriminating evidence. They also found evidence that he was going to flee before being arrested. He was originally given bond that was over $1 million. His attorneys requested that the bond be lowered, and the judge lowered the bond to $250,000. Now this pedo is currently out on bond right now. Now, we'll see if we can get a follow-up on this because he does still have to go to court, and we'll just see how it goes. Next up, hospital hid gender treatments using wrong billing codes. We got 3 videos here. The third one is short. It's 18 seconds. But we'll get through the first one. We're going to skip around a little bit. It is like 8 minutes worth of video, but it's talking about how this hospital in Texas, the biggest hospital in Texas, was secretly doing gender surgery on minors, even though it's illegal in Texas. They were also committing insurance fraud to get the job done. Yesterday, we were covering a video where people were coming in to give testimonies because the same exact thing is happening here in Michigan. Now, I went to find a follow-up for Michigan, what's going on here, but there really isn't a lot of information about it. They just did the testimony hearing stuff like 2 days ago. It's an hour and a half long. I watched the entire thing. There's not a whole lot of information when it comes to accountability. It doesn't really sound like they're going to do anything about this. They just have a whole bunch of victims. Now, this stuff going on in Texas, the whistleblower stuff is from like a year ago, but the whistleblowers are now public. It was kind of like a secret thing. And the first whistleblower was originally being sought after by the federal government, claiming that he had broken HIPAA laws, which is not true. That's not what happened. But they were trying to make it seem like that. Then a second whistleblower came out. We have a video of the second whistleblower, which we haven't covered at all yet. After we get through the first video, we'll see if you guys want to hear from the second whistleblower, because the information is sort of redundant, but you're hearing from the person themselves. Third video being that they're building a new place for gender affirming care in Texas, even though it's illegal for minors to go through the procedure. With all this secrecy going on, you're kind of inclined to believe that this new wing may be working on children, because the big push for this new medical wing is that it's no questions asked. You show up, they don't ask you shit, they just give you what you want. That's what liberals like, that's how Democrats behave, and that's how they were hurting children in the first place. So, we'll see how it goes, but either way, we might have a triply coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about this North Carolina representative who's a pedo being out on bond right now. Zero, why was the 15-year-old on a dating app? I don't really believe the 15-year-old would be on a dating app, because it's easier to get relationships from social media than it is to get from these actual dating apps. So I kind of feel like the predator was just lying about the situation because he's trying to act like he didn't know the child was underage. And so it would be easier to try and pull that lie off if you're like, oh, they were on a dating app where everybody there's there to date, versus if he was on Roblox and was talking to this child through Roblox or something like that. You know, so I think it's a part of their ploy, because they're saying that the predator is the one that said that the child was on the dating app, and I'm not inclined to believe predators. So I don't know, it's kind of just speculation, but yeah, no, child should not be on a dating app. Go see, the app was Grindr. And the boy wasn't 15, it was Get Some. It's a giant psyop going on here. Told Kara the HIPAA laws are for those that can't see their gender. Oh, the HIPAA laws, yes. It's funny that they talk so much about the HIPAA laws now, because they didn't give a shit about the HIPAA laws during the lockdowns. They didn't care anything about HIPAA laws. Done. The community will clean itself if there's any good people. Yeah, potentially. Beck Frank, HIPAA laws is our right when it comes to our medical history and stuff like that. So authorities cannot ask you medical questions. They have to have legal reasons in order to force you to provide information about your medical history. It's your right, and that's what the HIPAA laws are. So like during the lockdowns, when they ask you if you got the COVID shot, technically that should have been against HIPAA laws, and you could just say that to them. You could say, I'm inclined to not answer that question because of HIPAA laws, and that should have been that. And if they break it, then you can take them to court and all this other stuff. During the lockdowns, when we were in a national state of emergency, our rights, our constitutional rights, are considered suspended. And so they were able to break HIPAA laws without any consequence during the lockdowns, which is basically what I'm bitching about. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom to you. North Carolina needs help. Charlotte is bad. Yeah, they do need help. Done. There was videos of people in the medical facilities talking about how they were going to do exactly this, swapping codes. But I think it was because of insurance at that time. Yeah, it's this big insurance fraud thing. And even this whistleblower that we're going to play in a little bit, he talks about how he thinks it's not just Texas doing this, that there's a lot of places that are doing this. And like when we played the video yesterday about Michigan and those people testifying in the hearing, they had said that this one illness was misreported 111 times to get money from insurance companies to perform these procedures on minors and stuff who did not actually have these ailments. And so, yeah, there's probably a lot of it going on. Major, America protects pedos. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Well, it's probably because the people on top are related to that. You know, they relate, and that's a problem. What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom. Fuck a hippo. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. What's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Canna? Happy freedom to you. Techno, so that's the next governor of North Carolina then? No, I don't think so. He resigned. If he didn't resign, he'd have had a shot. DP. What would be even more disturbing is if they started to check some of these judges' basements and find out what's actually in them. Yeah, well, it's like for a while there, they were busting these judges that were harboring illegals. That illegals living in their house, and was the one judge in Texas was letting the illegal have firearms and stuff like that. And then all of that stuff went away. Like the Wisconsin judge that helped the illegal escape the courthouse, and then she got arrested, and everybody swore up and down that she was going to be held accountable by justice. And now they don't talk about that anymore. And like I had said, in 2018, something similar had happened, almost exactly the same situation, and the charges were dropped against the judge. And so now I'm waiting for the charges to be dropped against the Wisconsin judge. But we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to bet on accountability. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, we potentially have a triply. We're going to jump around in this first video. It's like 15 minutes, but we're not going to watch the whole 15 minutes. We're going to watch like 7 minutes out of it. And we'll get through that, and we'll see if you hooligans want to hear from the second whistleblower afterwards. Because like I said, the information's kind of redundant, but it's straight from the second whistleblower's mouth. So we'll see. But either way, this first one here, like I said, is titled Hospital Hid Gender Treatments and Used Wrong Billing Codes. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, that our friend Larry could really use your help. Larry's in need of a kidney transplant, and he's recently been in and out of the hospital. He also just had surgery not that long ago. I put together a page for him over on the website. It's got his story, his details, links, and all kinds of stuff. If there is any way you can help our friend Larry, please go check out his page over on the website. All right, hooligans, getting into this first of potentially 3 here. I don't know why the beginning of this is not in English, but that's okay. We're not going to listen to that part. Either way, like I said, hospital hid gender treatments and used wrong billing codes. This is an interview with the whistleblower in Texas directly. His name is Surgeon Etam Haim, I think is how you say his name. But either way, he's a whistleblower from Texas. Like I said, busted the biggest hospital in Texas that was committing insurance fraud, and they were secretly transing minors. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Dr. Ethan Haim, you were telling here on GenSpect seminar that you're a whistleblower, and you exposed that in Texas Children's Hospital. Did I get it right that Texas state banned the gender treatment for minors? They had banned them, and you knew that they still did those treatments in the hospital.
Yeah, so in February of 2022, the Attorney General of Texas had issued an opinion that transgender interventions on kids could constitute criminal child abuse. So as a result of that, Texas Children's, TCH, the largest children's hospital in the world, had issued a statement saying that they were going to shut down the program because of the potential criminal ramifications. It kind of makes sense, right? If the Attorney General says one thing, that this could be child abuse, the hospital says, we're going to shut it down, nothing to see here. But what the reality was that they just continued it. Like that week, they continued it. The statement came out on March 4th, and they were back to surgery on March 7th, So when I blew the whistle, what happened the day after was that the Texas Senate passed SB 14, which was a law that banned transgender interventions on children. So like it codified it with both Republicans and Democrats. So technically, the law was only made illegal the next day. But I would argue that it's always been illegal, because to do this to a child is criminal negligence and assault, right? Because you're intervening on a child when there's no disease present, right? You're exposing them to the risks of hormones, blockers, and surgery when there's no potential benefit to be gained.
Yeah, and the thing what they did, they somehow, with the treatment codes, diagnosis codes, they used different diagnosis codes than what they really did, the treatment.
Yeah, and that's one of the most remarkable things is the other whistleblower. After I anonymously blew the whistle, there was a second anonymous whistleblower. It was a nurse who worked in the transgender clinic. She saw it firsthand what was happening. And after these stories came out, the FBI, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, right, HHS, all came after us. And they sent FBI agents to her home, which then she called Chris Rufo called us. And then both of our stories, took place, kind of independently of each other, but they were kind of meeting towards some point in the future. And after I was indicted on 4 felonies and faced up to 10 years in prison, this other whistleblower finally took her story public. And in that story, what she alleges is that Texas Children's Hospital not only was lying about this program, but she alleges that they were fraudulently billing Medicaid using different techniques to deceive the Texas government and insurance companies. And for those of you not familiar with like how big of a problem that is, that's like a really, really big deal. So of course, these were allegations that she made, and you can decide to believe them or not. It's my belief that it seems that they're likely true, because this is something that the left-wing NGOs and medical organizations have been talking about a lot, which is how to use false diagnosis codes in order to get insurance companies to cover these interventions. And what I mean by cover is to pay for reimbursements, because you can't get hormones or surgery unless it's paid for by insurance. So what do they use to get those payments is false billing codes. What I believe. That's what I believe is the case.
Do you think the same thing could be going on different states before or now?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think absolutely, especially in blue states. I think it is a very high likelihood that doctors in transgender clinics, like in California, Washington, New York, Illinois, they're fraudulently billing. It's my belief that they are fraudulently billing insurance companies and state insurance in order to get reimbursement when insurance companies would otherwise not cover it. And that's a big deal. That's something that doctors go to prison for. That's something that hospital CEOs and administrators can go to prison for if they're in on the scheme. It's a big deal.
That's unbelievable.
Okay, so we're gonna jump around here. Let me see where the next timestamp is. 7:53. So he's talking about his experience, what he busted, like as far as blowing the whistle and all of that. Also talks about the second whistleblower. And these next couple minutes, not even a whole 2 minutes, he's going to be talking about what happened in court. Because like I said, he was originally being chased by the federal government, claiming that it doesn't matter. He was blowing the whistle on Texas, their biggest hospital, still transing kids. That doesn't matter. What matters is he broke HIPAA laws. Now, he didn't actually break the HIPAA laws, which is how he is not in prison right now. And he's going to talk about that for the next couple minutes.
How did you get away with it that they didn't send you to prison?
So we fought a lot. So, I told this story publicly because of the corruption I was seeing when I was anonymous. For the first 6 months after the agents came, I remained anonymous because, it was terrifying to think like I would go public and people would know my name, because I'm like a very private person. I know it doesn't seem like it. Like the only person you guys know is like the public Aton, but like the Aton I was my whole life was a very private person. Never had social media. I had a very small friend group. And there was some point where I knew they were going to destroy me unless I told the story publicly. I needed help, because the only factor that leads to victory in this situation is whether you're able to defend yourself legally. And that requires a huge amount of money. So we had no money at the time because we went completely bankrupt. So we told the story in order to develop an army of people who were willing to support us, and that's what we did. So we raised like $1.3 million. The case was still like 2.5, so we're still in debt a huge amount. And we were able to fight it, and even though we fought it and proved all of their case, anything they claimed against me was untrue. It was the first time in American history that they had that HIPAA was used not to protect patients, but multi-billion-dollar hospital system and physicians who lied to the public. It was a complete manipulation of the law, and we had to fight against that, and we ultimately won.
Thank God.
Okay, so that's, the deal in a nutshell there. Like I said, we just played, a little less than 8 minutes. It saved you almost 13 minutes there skipping through. Now, they do a lot of more details and stuff. They talk about it being the Biden administration that was going after him and all this stuff, but we already know that. He also talks about Democrats versus conservatives and how they're a bunch of wackos, but they're always gaslighting conservatives. We already know all that, too, so that's what I kind of skipped around. But either way, that is the whistleblower there. Once again, his name is Surgeon. It's Etan Heim or something like that. It looks like it's Ethan, but the second whistleblower, who actually knows this guy, says his name is like Eton or something like that. So either way, that's his name. Surgeon Eton Heim is the whistleblower from Texas, blowing the whistle on Texas, secretly doing gender-affirming care on minors. He says there was a second whistleblower. The second whistleblower spoke out saying that they were committing insurance fraud, just like the story we had covered in Michigan. He says that they're using false medical codes in order to fund these procedures, then talks about how he won in court when he was accused of breaking HIPAA laws, and that's the only reason he's not in prison right now is because he won in court. Because, like I said, they tried to eclipse what he was whistleblowing on and just make it all about him breaking HIPAA laws, which wasn't actually true. Now, I don't know what the consequence of this was. Did they actually go and shut down the hospital? Any of that stuff? Nobody actually knows. But he survived the wrath of the government. Now that we're at this point, drop a 1 in the chat if you want to hear from the second whistleblower. It's less than 3 minutes long on this video. Drop a 2 in the chat if you want to just move forward. I got this third video here. It's about a new facility, also built in Texas, about gender-affirming wing of a hospital and how it's no questions asked and how I think this place should be investigated. We're going to land there regardless of how this goes, but let's see if you guys want to hear from the second whistleblower. 0 with the 1. Seeing wands. Okay, I didn't want to bore you guys. I know it's a lot of talking and stuff, but I think that this is kind of important, even though we don't have a whole ton of people here watching. But that's okay. Like I said, I think this is important. I wish there was more consequence, but at least we know that this is going on, and we can carry that with us. Let's go ahead and pull the second one up. Like I said, this is the second whistleblower. This is a much shorter video. This is not even a whole 3 minutes here, but it is from herself. Like I said, talking about similar things. Some of this information is going to sound redundant, but this is from the second whistleblower herself. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get into this.
I've had the privilege of working as a pediatric nurse in Houston, Texas. I accepted a job at Texas Children's Hospital, the most prestigious and largest children's hospital in the United States, not knowing that a fully functional and robust gender clinic was active in my workplace. Eventually, I was asked to do things that went against my nursing ethics, my personal beliefs, and most importantly, my faith in Christ. One day, a physician asked me to do patient teaching, which is not uncommon, but on this particular day, I walked into a patient's room and I was asked by the doctor to instruct them on how to administer an intramuscular injection. What I didn't know was that this child was going to administer estrogen to himself to affirm the false identity that he had adopted. And realizing that I enabled him to do that was devastating to me. I considered quitting my job. I could no longer play an indirect role in perpetuating these harms against children until May of 2023, when I read an article by an anonymous whistleblower within Texas Children's Hospital who had come forward courageously to expose that the hospital had been secretly providing transgender treatments to children, had hidden this from parents and from lawmakers in the state of Texas. And I knew this to be true because I was one of the nurses working at this clinic that was supposedly non-existent. This person is Dr. Eton Heim, without whom I would not be here today. We did not know each other at the time, but what I did know was that someone within the hospital had shared my concerns. And so a couple of days later, I came forward anonymously to corroborate his testimony. 2 months later, my husband and I were having dinner on a Monday night, and there was a knock on the front door. We go to open the door, and there are 2 federal agents who are flashing their badges. They say they're from the FBI, and they're asking specifically to speak with me regarding issues at my work. These agents informed me that I was a person of interest in an investigation targeting not a whistleblower, but a leaker who had allegedly violated patient confidentiality laws by breaking HIPAA, which was, of course, a complete lie. They were trying to turn me and to use me to speak against Dr. Heim. They informed me that if I didn't help them, my career and my safety were at risk, and it was the most terrifying encounter we've ever had. I went back to work and I discovered not only had the hospital lied to the public, but they were also billing Medicaid fraudulently for these cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers, which in Texas is a violation of state law. I saw children that were misdiagnosed intentionally. I saw false diagnoses. I saw all these things that were deeply concerning and 100% illegal. And I knew that I had to come forward to expose that the hospital was committing fraud. In June of last year, I came forward publicly with my identity, and in August of last year, the hospital fired me. This was illegal for a number of reasons. 3 months later, the Trump administration announced a formal investigation into Texas Children's Hospital for illegally terminating my employment. I'm very, very grateful for that. I now have the privilege of serving as the founder of Protecting Texas Children. We work towards building a future where children can grow up happy, healthy, and whole. For 10 years.
Okay. Second whistleblower there. Doing the thing. We're going to get into this last, well, it's not the last video, but it's the last on this topic. This is a new video. This video came out day before yesterday. Now, this is like advertisement that's supposed to be exciting. That's you'll get that once we start this video. Like I said, this was posted on the 4th today. Right now it's the 6th, and they're saying that this is them building a gender affirming hospital wing in Texas, and then it has the name Dr. Danny Hanna. Let's go ahead and play this, and then we'll hop in the chat.
Imagine walking into a hospital and not having to explain yourself to anyone. Not your name, not your pronouns. We're building that here in Texas, a locked, private wing for transgender non-binary patients, gender-oriented rooms, trained staff, no judgment. Imagine walking into
Okay, so like I was saying, it's illegal to do this stuff to minors in Texas. Now, they didn't say that they were offering these new services or this new wing was built for minors, but the lack of information needed is the concern. No questions asked. That's the big thing. Imagine walking in here, nobody asks you anything, and they just do whatever you want. Who's that sound like that applies to? Because they're trying to make it seem like it's the gay community. It's children. Children are the only people who have to be secretive about what they're doing. Adults don't have to. That's part of being an adult. You want to be a crackhead, look at the crackheads in Philly. They're right on the fucking street doing it. You know, they don't have to hide it. They're adults. If you're an adult and you want to whack your wiener off permanently, you don't have to hide that from anybody. So it sounds like it's directly applying to children. No questions asked. You come up in here. We're going to do whatever you want to do. And we ain't going to tell anybody about it because HIPAA laws protect that. Now, maybe I'm just grasping at straws here. I don't know. But after everything we just listened to, that has to do with Texas. And then you got this flamboyant piece of shit out here advertising a new wing that is dedicated to this kind of stuff. I'm inclined to believe that these people need to be investigated. You know, that's just how I feel. And I'm nobody special, but that's what I think when I see this 18-second video. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. It is Lefties Losing It, and today it's titled, Jennifer Welch Claims Americans Have No Culture. What an idiot. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what your hooligans think about all this stuff that we just covered about them secretly committing insurance fraud while also cutting up kids. Guess what the fuck? Yeah. 0 locked, private. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, it does sound bad. Russell, I still think Get Some needs to be investigated. If they investigate him, they're going to find 10 Man's motorcycle. Can't have that. 0, people standing up and doing the right thing is always interesting and good. I think so. Guess I thought you said that whacking my wiener was against the law now. Oh yeah, I forgot that was Texas. Texas and Ohio. I don't know. Everybody's doing illegal shit in Texas is what it sounds like. Everybody's breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Jagula, so if I tell them I'm trans, then they'll fix this nagging toothache for free? They might. They might. Cass, why and how have all these doctors been... Wait a minute. Have all these doctors not been arrested for sexually mutilating children? I don't know. They like it. The people in power like this stuff, or they would stop it. Told care, disgusting. Yeah, that's what I feel too. It is disgusting. Murdercom, I thought of a way Trump can have a third term. Just annex Canada and Mexico and become president of America. He might. He already said that he could be VP, that Vance or somebody could be prez, and he could become VP, and that'd be his third term. But he said that it's too cute. He's not willing to do it. It's too cute. What's up, CD? What's up, OT? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Knucking Futs. Dems are big into healthcare, Medicaid, insurance fraud. Who can remember HCA? I don't know what HCA is, but yeah, and that's kind of the problem. It's like libs are big into tech, and then we all wonder why Grok and all the AI is liberal-minded. You know, and the same thing with healthcare and stuff. You go in there and cry about your big feelings, they'll give you whatever pill you have for the problem of the day. You know, they got a pill for every problem. They got a label for every ailment. And you can get your labels and your pills and go be cracked the fuck out legally. And, you know, if you run over some conservatives on the way home, they'll pat you on the back for it. It's weird that all these liberals are in position of power, but I guess it's because they want it so bad. Conservatives just want to be left the fuck alone. I'd be better off not having to control the people around you and just being in control of your life. But the liberals, they blame everyone else for their problems. So they have to control everyone else in order to not have problems. That's how they think in their messed up mind. And so I think that may be why they're all in these positions of power, because they require it. They need power in order to be okay, where conservatives just want to be left the fuck alone. And I think that's the issue here. What's up, Richard? Happy freedom to you. Reduction of masculinity within society causes the population reduction all the libtard loons want so badly. Yeah, that's right. Well, and the laws have really neutered people too. Look at Daniel Penny. You know, he was just trying to do the right thing. Wackadoodle hops on the transit there, on the train or whatever it is, the subway, right? Starts threatening to kill everybody, and he's watching everybody do nothing, wait around to be victimized. If we didn't have so many laws that fought against the good guys would just stand up left and right. They wouldn't even call it vigilante justice. It would just be, oh, there was a good guy there on the scene when the bad guy decided to lose his marbles. But the fact that we have labels like vigilante justice is how you know we got laws that are against the good guys just as much against the bad guys. And that's the problem. Good guys follow the law. Bad guys don't follow the law. So as long as they're making laws against the good guys, we are neutering ourselves. And the government knows that, because they don't want we the people to be independent. They don't want us to be united. They want us sucking on the titty of the government. And look at how that's going. Everybody's on Snap right now. How do they feel about that? You know, not feeling real great. Got to get that government titty out of your mouth. And I know some people need help, and I'm not talking about those people, but that's what I mean. As long as you let the government run your life and shit, they're going to run your life right into the fucking ground, and they're doing that with our laws. And so when you're dealing with bad guys, you got to worry. If I stand up and save everybody's life today, am I going to prison for it? And it's like, you shouldn't have to worry about that. But unfortunately, it's the way things are. Man, and my brother tells the waiter he can't have French fries boiled in onion ring because of wheat, but seen him eating Halloween chocolate writing wheat on it. I'm so over him. Yeah, man, of the double standards. What's up, Jones? Happy freedom to you. Man of fake people boils me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, some fuck you, Texas law. I'm beating off in protest. In your face. Goodness. You're fired. Oh my goodness. Today is a funny day. Either way. Zero, I'll have to check that out. I actually don't hang out in Telegram a whole lot. I should though. God only knows what you hooligans are doing over there. What's up, Pickles? Happy freedom to you. Major, yeah, break the law more, good guys. Sheesh. Well, I'm not trying to encourage people to break the law. I'm just saying what we're looking at every day from my perspective. What's up, Electric Hammer? Happy freedom. God is good. That's right, Electric Hammer. Sergeant No, dancing hooters are always fun for everyone. That's right. Absolutely. I'm Jeff Mack, and I approve of this message. Either way, getting into the last little bit of the news here. Like I said, it is lefties losing it. Today it's tighter. It's tighter. It's tighter than you've ever seen before. It's titled, Jennifer Welch Claims Americans Have No Culture. She better be tight with all that talking. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
It's time for Lefties Losing It, and we've already brought you footage of a brave woman, Tish Hyman, who took a stand against male bodies in the women's change rooms at Gold's Gym. She had a membership terminated for speaking out, and now the man who was watching her naked in the locker room and probably dangling his doodle around, well, he's now getting a platform on TMZ. Watch these clowns pretend this dude is a woman.
One of the people that that Tish says she confronted in the locker room, her name is Alexis Black, and she's joining us now. Alexis, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi. It says female on my ID and hormones, and I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym. So.
And were you at that moment, because she told us about a couple of different encounters, were you fully clothed at that moment?
Well, she has become aggressive with me on 4 different occasions, actually at different locations in Los Angeles at Gold's Gym. But fully clothed. I believe I was enrobed in a towel on one occasion.
Shame on you, TMZ, you weak, pitiful men. And a reminder, it was TMZ staff who were laughing and cheering when they heard Charlie Kirk died, and then they lied about it, about being some car chase that we're watching. Yeah, that got debunked pretty quick. Now, here is something that is going to set off lefties losing it everywhere. This is possibly the biggest sporting superstar in the world, and he's praising Donald Trump.
President Trump, a friend of mine, was given a CR7 shirt, and you wrote on it, to President Donald J. Trump, playing for peace. What did you mean by that?
He's one of the guys that can change or help to change the world.
Cristiano Ronaldo is too big to be cancelled. Now let's hear from some dude in a dress, some dude in woman's face, getting irate and verbally attacking a woman dressed as a Native American for Halloween. Dude, mind your business.
She's dressed as a Native American.
Are you trans? Is that a costume or is that how you are? Huh?
Do I look trans?
A little bit.
You look trans too.
But it's also Halloween. I look trans?
Why don't you just mind your own business? I'm not even talking to you.
I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. You're offended? You're offended, but you're dressed up like a girl.
Gotta say, I love the look on her face, pure disdain, and good on those blokes who stood up for that woman, but our male Karen wasn't done yet.
Do girls have beards?
Well, when they take hormones and shit, they get them.
I will, but I said what I had to say.
Yeah, you said it. Now you can get
She can talk for herself too, guys.
She clearly doesn't want to because you're fucking disrupting her night.
Dude, worry about chewing with your mouth open instead of trying to police other people's Halloween outfits. Now to a woman who essentially lied for a living as White House press secretary, every day telling the world that Joe Biden was cognitively sound. Well, she's still pushing that lie. That's when she's not telling us that she's black and queer. And it seems Karine Jean-Pierre is none too pleased with people noticing how often she mentions that.
Pisses me off that people who have not walked in my shoes, who have no idea who really I am as a person, get to tell me how I get to identify myself or not. So it's like, shut up. I was like, you can't tell me how I get to identify myself. You can't tell me how I get to call myself. Like, screw you. Like, that's not okay.
Oh, Karine, no one is telling you how to describe yourself. We are just letting you know it's asinine and tiresome when you do this when answering just about any question.
Black woman, as a person who's also LGBTQ. As a black woman, I am a black woman, I am a queer woman, I am an immigrant. Being a black woman, as a black woman myself, that is the thing that I understood as a Black woman is that I meant a lot to people because of the communities that I represented. And whether it was women of color, Black women, queer community, LGBTQ community, and as a Black woman, and I have my queerness too.
Now, we've featured many liars and gaslighters on this program, but once again, Jennifer Welch manages to outdo the most objectionable spreaders of misinformation and hate with this latest diatribe on President Trump, who apparently is suffering cognitive decline. This is the left's favourite tactic, accusing their opponents of what they're guilty of. Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack, but it's Donald Trump who has dementia.
We have an incompetent, dementia-ridden running the United States of America right now. He is so over his skis. It is so abundantly obvious. Shame on corporate media or any media that isn't covering this absolute mental decline, the likes of which the world has never seen. This person should not have nuclear weapons. He got lost in Japan while the Japanese prime minister was walking him in basically a square. He couldn't follow the instructions.
All they do is lie. And it gets better. She then claims that the man who has brokered 8 peace deals in his second term doesn't understand foreign policy.
And because he absolutely does not understand foreign policy, he ends up sending out on his social media platform.
And Jennifer Welch was celebrating Zoran Mamdani's big win overnight, but she was upset there were so many white people at the victory party, seriously. And she also had this to say. She said, Americans have no culture.
Americans have no culture except for multicultural. Well said. And we need to teach people how to embrace that. These crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it.
You know, I've been writing for years about the unholy alliance between the left and Islamists. And sadly for Jennifer, she's too dumb to realise how that will end. Let's have a look at some objectionable lefties, Mehdi Hassan, Hassan Piker, Mahmoud Khalil and Jamal Bowman, regulars on this segment, hugging and carrying on. Sadly for Jennifer, she wasn't invited to this.
Mahmoud Khalil is here. Mahmoud Khalil is here. And he voted 5 times. Jamal Bowman. He voted illegally 5 times.
And Zoran Mamdani was eager to lean into the racial politics during his victory speech. Listen to him just recounting racial stereotypes here.
I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
And Zoran Mamdani proved to us all that he's not some dangerous commie by starting his victory speech by quoting a commie. Yes, New York, you suicidally stupid lunatics. What have you done?
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands.
The wealthy and the well-connected, they're the ones that were backing you, including billionaire George Soros and his failed son, Alex. Talk about unearned privilege and power. Now let's hear from some New Yorkers on why they backed Mamdani. Get ready to be regaled by keen intellects and deep knowledge of politics.
Do you support Zoran?
Yeah, he seems cool.
What makes him ready to be New York's mayor?
He sounds like he's like a Power Rangers character, so.
I mean, is anybody really ever ready to be mayor? What makes Mamdani qualify to be mayor?
I don't think at this point it's necessarily a question of who's qualified.
Obama had very little experience and Obama did very well.
He's just a really likable guy.
What makes him ready to be mayor?
I don't know.
Why is he ready? I feel like he's like answering.
It never really takes like the most experience.
I don't know what it takes to be a mayor, so how can I really say if somebody else is qualified?
Yeah, experience.
Mondani?
Yeah.
He's been a rapper. He's about to run a $115 million budget tomorrow.
Really, New York, you're almost beyond parody. And talking about parody, how good are these guys?
Hey folks, we are Xander and Fee, and we are looking for a seed oil-free roommate to share in our gender-expansive abode in Oakland. Xander is an intuitive fermentation coach, and I am an ancestral fire maker. Xander is gluten-free, so we do not have Wi-Fi in the home. You must be comfortable with guests, as our dwelling is a soft landing pad for decolonial healers and neurospicy artists of all ethnicities. No pets, please, as we already have 6 cats, 4 of whom pee freely. The ideal roommate is unbound by capitalist temporality, as our tantric howling practice keeps us up late into the night, especially during high tide. We will be holding a silent open house this Sunday from 3 to 5. Due to Xander's sensitivities, we ask that you show up fasted and fragrance-free. Many blessings. Just kidding.
Now let's go to CNN and watch the host here allow Zoran Mamdani to lie without challenge, to muddy the waters about money for the White House ballroom, which is not taxpayer funded, and money for food stamps, which is.
Clearly see that Donald Trump is threatened by our campaign. He's threatened by it because, like his, we've diagnosed the crisis in working class New Yorkers' lives, the cost of living. But unlike him, we're actually going to deliver on that. And that is a contrast that he can't bear to see. Because while he is spending $300 million remodeling a White House ballroom, the same amount of money that could provide SNAP benefits for 100,000 New Yorkers, he's trying to make it harder for Americans across the country to actually afford groceries. And this money that we're talking about, it's money that New York City is owed. It's not Donald Trump's to decide which city or state will get what money. This is the money that New Yorkers are owed, and this is the money that we're going to fight for.
Zoran thinks Donald Trump is scared of him. Just look how terrified the president is. This is him at the American Business Forum in Miami earlier today. Terrified, clearly terrified. Joining me now is political advisor.
Okay, that is lefties losing their marbles there. Wrapping it up, President Trump doing the Trump dance. Very nice. Next up, we got all the fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Preparing Your Kids for the World. And our official funny video of the day is titled Me When I've Had Enough for the Day. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about lefties losing their marbles. Russell, the propaganda. I know, so much propaganda. I can't believe how effective it is that they just lie about everything. I mean, it was interesting when they were taking like 2 words out of something Trump said and just crop it and then play it all over the place and act like he said something that he didn't actually say. That was one thing, but now they just come out and just blatantly lie about everything. I don't understand how the normies get on board with that. I'm kind of shocked that they voted in Mandani or whatever, but they made him TikTok famous, and that's what got him through the door. They gave him a little song, and then they put a little dance, and then everybody was sharing the videos and shit. And it's just like the New Yorkers are saying, oh, he's cool. He's on the internet. He's cool. That's what they did with Vivek Ramnath-Salami. It was the same thing. Oh, he's really cool on the internet. Let's vote for that guy. And it's like, what'd he promise? I don't know. Free shit. Oh, okay. All right. We'll see how it goes. New York City, they're going to be feeling it soon. I think it's July when he officially becomes mayor. So we'll see how that goes. Not July, January. We'll know then. Jagular, the lies are over the top. They are. They're like, did you hear that President Trump was beating unicorns in his backyard? We need to call Pedo on him. I'm like, oh, okay. Totally care. Jeff's personal troll hits the thumbs down. I don't know who does that. I don't know who like puts that shit on their schedule. They do. They thumbs down the video every damn day. Just want to rake my eyes out. Jagular, you could smell the bad fish. It's not good. And with the liberals, they're doing all the surgeries and stuff. It don't even smell like fish. It just smells like an old Band-Aid. It's not good. What's up, Tao? Happy freedom to you. Happy freedom to you, Jagular. What's up, Weevo? Happy freedom. Back Frank, compared to Biden, I'm not sure why they've started doing that too. They're like, you see President Trump? He's nothing compared to Biden. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Everything that Biden did, he did worse than President Trump. Walking, talking, stairs, shaking hands, showing up at all. Like, I don't even know why they should just stay away from that. They should avoid the comparison between Biden and President Trump. What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom. What's up, Mike T? Happy freedom to you. Major, KJP's hair is culture appropriation. Yeah, that'd never fly back in 2020. Totally care. Smile because you're living in their head rent free. Well, I wish I was charging rent. This $1,000 car repair has got me nervous. I need to be charging rent living in these minds of these liberals here. Ghostly, when New York City starts falling apart and people are getting stabbed on the subway, you're not expecting me to give a single fuck. Yeah, and they're going to blame President Trump. That's what's so dumb about it. New York City is going to be a hot dumpster fire. And they're going to be like, oh, the mean orange man. Like he voted Ma'am Donnie in or something. Patriot Dad, what's a beaver moon? Somebody needs to send me a picture of that. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. Meta, I'm not having a good day. Ma'am Donnie won. Prop 50 passed, although it's being challenged. Kind of ticked off. Why are you ticked off that New York City voted in a mayor? I'm not mad about it. I don't live in New York City. I mean, I'm not excited that Americans are that fucking stupid in New York City that they voted him in. I'm not getting bent out of shape about it. They want to live with communism. That's on them. We're going to report on it. What's up, Christopher? Happy freedom. There's a law that allows the mainstream to lie. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but they should do away with that. What's up, Mr. Lynn? Happy freedom to you. Jones, uneducated voters have destroyed our democracy. They destroy their own democracy, but they are a bunch of marching idiots. Xterra, I bet it smells like low tide. It's not good. It's not good at all. They need to wash that thing. Totally care Winona's Big Brown Beaver. I can hear the bass line in my head. Pickles, there was no good options for New York City. They had the Guardian Angels guy. What is his name? Siwa or whatever. But he was like doing the worst out of everybody that was running. Unfortunately. Zero, the Smith-Mund Act. Obama changed it so they can spew propaganda. Yeah. President Trump should change it. He hates the fake news so much. Why doesn't he change it? You know? Either way, let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff here. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into that, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the video description. We have PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals. Buy me a coffee. You can send something to the P.O. box, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today from the the Gnome Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Let's see which gnome we get today. Day 9. They know. For everybody in Germany. Okay, we'll just tear into it since you want to fight me. Feisty. Oh, we got another gray one. Come out of the box. I gotta sweet talk it right out of the box here. Oh, this is probably the coolest one we've got yet. Look at this guy. He actually has a little bit of a mustache there. You can't really see it. There, you gotta see it. The camera sort of picking it up. He's styling though. He's real cool. He's got a little ghost on his hat. He's not a member. He just attends the meetings. Either way, thank you so much, Tori Wayne. Really appreciate it. We got a whole gnome collection here, and he's the coolest one yet. Let's get into these funny videos here. Like I said, this first one was provided by Stoner. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing here. All right. Like I said, this was provided by Stoner. It's titled Preparing Your Kids for the World.
Just checking the kids' candy because you're supposed to, you know. And I already found like so much poison already. Look it, it's everywhere. Poison.
How do you know?
Poison. Poison. This is all poisoned.
How do you know?
I just know. Parents know this stuff.
Not stealing your kids' candy. That's exactly how the world is. I mean, it's kind of cruel, but the world is a cruel place. So, you know, you got to get them prepared for life. Rob them first. Be their first bully, you know? I don't know. It's probably not good advice, but either way. Getting into our official funny video of the day. I provided this, and normally I don't do that. But, man, I was really feeling this one because I've been feeling feisty the last 2 weeks. This is titled, Me, When I've Had Enough of the Day.
And Burger King, y'all can count y'all motherfucking days, because, bitch, I ain't never seen a chicken sandwich cut in half like this. Y'all must don't be getting no pussy, because that's what this look like. Why would y'all cut my fucking sandwich like this? I fucking hate y'all. I fucking hate y'all. And I'm bringing this shit back. Because I asked for my shit. You know what? Oh, bitch, I'm so motherfucking annoyed. I hate you bitches.
Oh, that's how I feel almost every day. Just sick and tired of the fucking stupid people. Either way, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm gonna grab this link list really quick. We're gonna drop it in the chats. We're gonna read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next, and then of course we'll be raiding out over on Rumble. Goodness, just going off, going all the way off. It was a very relatable video. Well, hooligans, there is the link list where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, we'd really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, the Hooligan AI, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through. We got the pledge coming up, and we're raiding out over on Rumble. Matt Rogers, my daughter brought home 7 pounds of candy. She split it up into 2 bowls, one for her and one for us. That's badass, Matt Rogers. Parent tax. So nice. That's a ton of candy. It was a ton of candy. Mama's out there confiscating it. Thank you so much, Tao, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. Really appreciate you, Tao. Thank you so much for the support. Says, thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Tao. Cass, that's my thoughts in my head when they mess up my to-go order. I wouldn't act like that, though, just thinking it. Yeah, see, I scream a lot in the car. I scream so much in the car that I had to go get window wipes because I was driving at night and the window was dirty. And so I, like, hit the wipers or whatever, and I can't clean the window. So I'm sticking my finger up there, and that's on the inside. It's because I'm screaming with my headset on, driving down the fucking road, spitting on my windshield. So, yeah. If you close your eyes, you can read the braille and tell how pissed off I was. That's what my windshield's for. Too old to care. That's what I'm going to do to my son. Got to take that dad tax. That dad and mom tax. Bill Clay, look at those nails. She can cut it herself. She probably did. You know, she probably broke her sandwich in half and just made a mad video just for the sake of making content. Jagula, I did that with the Almond Joys. Yeah, you gotta test them for poison. What's up, Tori Wayne? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, it was a cool one today. I like his Jack Skellington eyes. Sly Dog, we don't have a democracy. Nope, we have a republic. I try not to correct people when I'm reading the chat, so it makes them leave. That's a hard thing for me, because I'm a fucking know-it-all. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm a know-it-all. I know I'm a know-it-all, because I get around other people that I think are know-it-alls, and I can't stand those fucking people. And that's how I know that I'm a know-it-all, because know-it-alls can't hang out with other know-it-alls. And so the biggest challenge I've had over the last couple of weeks is not correcting people that I see in the chat. Because you guys are here to hang out with me. Nobody wants to be fucking corrected. So I've had to learn to do that. It's really hard when people don't tell you what you're doing wrong, and you have to guess. But somebody pointed that out, so I've been trying really hard not to correct people and just read your guys' comments. Cass, I have bad road rage. Yep, won't deny it. It's a fact. Yeah, Cass, I'm the same way. I've been told I'm a road Nazi because I can't be on the road 10 seconds without bitching about the other drivers. I can't help that I'm right. I told you guys I'm a know-it-all. I don't know if I told you that. I can't help that I'm right, and I know the rules of the road, and everybody else just doesn't seem to know those rules. Then I must really stress you out then. No, you guys don't really stress me out. I stress myself out. No worries. Stoner, I don't know shit. I don't know shit about fuck. That's one of my favorite sayings. Happy freedom to you, Stoner. Zero, use windshield washer fluid to clean the smog off the inside of the car windows. Only thing I found that works. I have like Armor All wipes or something that are made for the windshield. It's like streak free. So I'm like doing this shit, and the next time I drove the car, it's a big smear mark across the windshield. I'm like, I hate everybody. These products suck. Snooks, people correct you all the time. Yeah, I know. I know, but I'm usually wrong. But I also tell you guys if I don't know something. I don't sit here and pretend like I know shit. If I know something, you guys know, because that's the hill I'll die on. But if I don't know something, I just tell you guys. What's the point in faking it? Tori Wayne, Klaus is so cute. I don't know. That's why I keep him around. Patriot Dad, my first car, turned my wiper jets to spray towards the driver's side, filled it with water. That's hilarious, Patriot Dad. Jagged, it's because it's a Subaru. I know. It's got to be. Totally care, Honey Bun Klaus. That's what they call him in prison. Oh, Honey Bun Klaus. You good boy. Look at him. Look at him. He knows it's fancy feast time. Stoner, I smoke in my car so my windshield is fucked. Oh, you got to take the razor blade to the windshield. Matt Rogers, I hate cleaning glass. Yeah, I do too. I become a perfectionist about it. Meta, I'm in Cali, so maybe it's Gruesome's Prop 50. What is the Prop 50, Meta? Is that them delegating regions or whatever? I can't remember what. Electoral regions? I know there's a couple states doing it. I don't really understand that stuff. That's why we haven't been covering it. That and there's so much speculation wrapped around it, and I don't like covering a lot of videos with speculation. Because then we all get mad about stuff that don't even end up happening. What's up, Bobby Johnson? Happy freedom to you. No worries. Jagula. No, I don't have a STI. I have an Outback. An 09. And it needs a lot of work. Like I said, they're charging me $1,090 doll hairs to basically redo the front end and replace both CV axles. And then after I spend the $1,090 doll hairs that I don't have, I have to put it on a credit card because I don't have it. But they're saying that my vehicle's unsafe to drive, that I shouldn't even drive it. But I will be. I have a lot of responsibility. So 7 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be up driving. But I'm not supposed to. And they said that my shit could seize up right there on the road at any moment. I'm just slinging grease all over the undercarriage, I guess. So it's $1,090 to fix that on Wednesday. I got between now and then to try and make some doll hairs. And then after I do that, I still need all 4 brakes replaced. And I need the transmission replaced, which Larry's working on helping me with that, if he can find one. But that's, you know, that's more money that I don't have. And I hate that because it's that or walk. Because I can't afford another car. The cheapest car that's running in Michigan is like $6,000. I hate cars. I hate the shit out of them, but, you know, it's whatever. Either way, it is that time once again, you hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans. It is that time once again. We're going to be raiding out over on Rumble. Let's see who's live. What day is this? Thursday. We have raided Frag and Rotella. Who did we raid yesterday? It was a gamer, wasn't it? Italiano. It was Italian that we raided yesterday. Dart Jason's live, but we usually save him for Saturday. Where the show is live. Why is he live on both his channels? Is that what I should be doing? Can you even do that on Rumble Studio? Handy's live. I think that's what Cass was saying. We need to cover Handy today. Well, let me see. Handy News just started. They're only 17 minutes in. So we could do that. We can go ahead and do that. Major's already over there. TV Green's over there too. So we'll just go ahead and raid Handy News. All right, hooligans. Don't forget, hit that like button as soon as you land.
Saying, no, we're not going to sign on to that, even though we're the ones that came up with it. We're the ones that came up with that idea of the CR that you guys are trying to put through right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to sign it. It's all because of control.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that raid.
They are trying to control me. If I don't wear a mask, they're going to know, oh, Dana's not going to wear a mask. He's going to be a problem. All those that can wear masks, we can get them into a 15-minute city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We just got raided by Jeff Mack. Happy freedom, hooligans. Welcome to the stream. Smash that like button.
Yes.
Share. Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
to see you again, Jeff.
That it is about control, 100% about control, but it's also about the money too. You know, I mean, it's disgusting to think about all these huge conglomerates getting taxpayer-funded money because they had to give the perception that Obamacare was affordable when we all.
All right, fantastic raid, you hooligans. They got a bunch of people on there, giving them all time to speak and all of that. I totally understand. Either way, we're going to read through really quick, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And today's Thursday, right? Yeah, so tomorrow after Coffee with Hooligans, we'll be hopping in the voice chat over on jeffmaclive.com. Get yourself a paid membership. It's only $10 for the month. You can join us Fridays after Coffee with Hooligans. We're always doing fun stuff over in the voice chat. I'm not sure what we'll be doing tomorrow because I think we read all the books, but maybe we didn't. I don't know. I have to check the stack here, but we're always doing fun stuff, laughing and learning and being hooligans. So you should definitely join us tomorrow. Like I said, get yourself a paid membership for jeffmaclive.com. You can join us in the voice chat tomorrow. Plus, you'll have access to all the things on the website, and I'm constantly adding stuff. And like I said, we got a brand new merch store, so definitely check that out too. Either way, reading through, we're wrapping her up. Matt Rogers, the Museum of the Marine Corps is shaped like the flag raising. That's cool. I never heard that before. Matt Rogers, most auto part stores won't stop you from working on vehicles in the parking lot. Yeah, I've been considering that, especially with my brakes, because I know how to do brakes. I don't know if I have all the necessary tools, but if I went to O'Reilly's or what's the other one, Harbor Freight, I could probably work something out there. I gotta figure it out. I gotta finger it out. Hey, thanks for being with us. Get some. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, thanks for being with us, Rappy. Enjoy your night. Thank you, Tori Wayne. Appreciate you. Thank you to all the care. Much love to you. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom. Stone, I'm surprised you don't have lesbians following you home. I'm disappointed, that's not happening. I'm trying. I don't know. I came to this realization the other day that I might be gross. I've never felt that way. Never ever considered that I might be gross. But I've actually been considering it the last couple of days. I'm like, maybe that's why people don't like me. Maybe I'm gross. I don't know. Too Old to Care. Happy Beaver Moon, everyone. Oh, I love that. Too Old to Care. Yes. Appreciate you, Pickles. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Bill Clay. Enjoy the rest of your night. Magic Moon, get a bicycle. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to snow on Saturday, but yeah. Stoner, is any Subarus truly safe to drive? I mean, it's questionable. It's debatable. Master debatable. Thank you, Stern. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Southern Eagleman. Thank you so much, Southern Eagleman, for the bits over on Twitch. You're badass, Southern Eagleman. Thank you so much for the support. Fantastic. I think we're good to go. Well, I appreciate you, Mana. Thank you. Zero toxic masculinity turns off lesbians. Ah, that's probably what it is. You can tell by my hair falling out that I have all this toxic masculinity. It's just pouring out of me. That's what she said. Either way, goodness. Like I said, we are wrapping this up, but we will be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you so much for helping me cover the news and making the news suck a little less. You guys are fantastic. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Find yourself some good food. Have fun, but please be safe, and I'll try and do the same. And like I said, make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.